Live in seconds.
954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome one and all. It is Thursday, July 31st, 2025. My name is Brian Craig, and this is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio, except tomorrow we're going to switch to celebrating 49 years on the radio starting tomorrow. Pretty exciting, huh? All right, we got a lot to cover. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the calls in just a bit. The number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Now, there was a little disappointment the other day when President Trump said Barack Obama has presidential immunity. And I was disappointed in that too, but he does. I mean, President Trump said it. It's true. He has presidential immunity. So his crossfire hurricane coup crimes, there's really, you can't do anything, that should be done, which is like charge him with treason, right? Because he has presidential immunity. Miranda Devine from the New York Post, she has a podcast. She interviewed President Trump in Scotland. I watched it yesterday. It was great. It's the second time she's interviewed him in the last couple of months. She just started this podcast. It was such a great interview. But President Trump, he was talking about Obama and Comey and Brennan and Clapper and all the rest. And he repeatedly said this was treason. It was treason. Hillary Clinton, her team, Podesta, all of them. It was treason. And the media as well. It's beyond commentary. It's America. We have freedom of speech. We share our opinions, and that's welcome. But what these people in the government were doing, they were spying on President Trump. They were undermining him. They had allies in the media doing this. And I mentioned to you guys yesterday, Devin Nunes confirmed, he's a national security advisor to the president. He confirmed in an interview this week with Maria Bartiromo on Fox News Channel what I've been telling you guys for a long time. The break-in of Mar-a-Lago by the feds had nothing to do with classified documents and all that. That was a cover story. The reason they broke into Mar-a-Lago, they thought President Trump in his personal safe in his office at Mar-a-Lago, I don't know how they got this in their mind, but they convinced themselves of it, had the files that Tulsi Gabbard declassified a couple weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago today was the first batch of declassified documents of hers, right? That's why they broke into Mar-a-Lago. There's been a lot of developments in the last 24 hours on this treason coup conspiracy against President Trump. And I want to cover some of it early in the program here. We got a lot of other things to cover as well. But I am going to cover some of this in the first hour. And, yesterday I shared a story, and I didn't hear anyone else talk about this. And, a lot of times when the government takes action on anything, whether it's legislation, a policy, sometimes they'll say something, they'll do something. It doesn't have to be a law. But they always talk about unintended consequences. Unintended consequences. I've heard that many times in the government. And there was a big story yesterday that I shared, and I didn't hear anyone else mention it. And it's an unintended consequence of what President Trump has done with the mass deportations. It was the story in Zero Hedge. And by the way, I post all the stories I talk about, the stories I read, the ones I never even get to on the show. I post everything on my X, Brian Craig Show on X. So if you follow me on X, at Brian Craig Show, you get all this stuff. You get all my show prep since I think I started on X in 2012. So you've got 12 years or more of my show prep on my X. But anyway, Zero Hedge, and this was official statistics from the government, traffic accidents in Los Angeles and in New York City are down 10% since the deportations began from this point last year. And of course, what that means is that the deportations are clearing up the roads. Now, a lot of those drivers are gone back to their country of origin. Some of them are, just not driving. They're afraid of getting busted. But I want you to think, I was thinking about that this morning because I was driving into the radio station, and I'm driving on I-95, and this is like 4:30 in the morning this morning, and I couldn't believe how much traffic was on I-95 at 4:30 in the morning. So I guess, we don't have a lot of illegals deported here. It was mostly trucks, semis, and work trucks and stuff, which are the worst because they got all those little rocks they're throwing everywhere. It sucks. And I was thinking about that, traffic accidents being down 10% in Los Angeles and New York City, and that's according to government numbers out of those cities and states, and Zero Hedge has the story. I posted the story yesterday. What a great unintended consequence from the deportations. I want you to think about that. That means lives have been saved. Some of those accidents would have resulted in fatalities. And if any of you ever crashed your car, I have not had a major car accident in years, but I've had 2 accidents that resulted in my car getting totaled. It was different cars, many years apart, but you get in a car accident, it's awful. I mean, the second one when my car got totaled, I had a lease. It's the only time I ever leased a car, and I was so nervous, but I always get the gap. You get that gap insurance. So I actually came out ahead on that one. But the first time it happened, I was like 17, and it was my car that I had in high school, and that I didn't have enough money to go out and buy a car, and because it was a clunker, I only had minimum coverage. It was a major, so I even if I had full coverage, the car was such a clunker, they wouldn't have given me enough money to replace it. It was tough. You get into a car accident, and it can have all kinds of negative impacts on someone, so far as their job and finances. And for car accidents to be down 10% in our 2 biggest cities, right, with the most traffic. I know there's cities that are bigger. I know Jacksonville's big, but you know what I mean. Think about the lives that have been saved, the damage that has not been done, the injuries that have not occurred. That's a pretty big deal. And President Trump, who would have thought that he could reduce traffic accidents and traffic fatalities through these deportations, on top of all the other things? It's pretty amazing. And I have to go to Miami over the weekend, and that's not a really good time to judge it. But every once in a while, I have to go to Miami during the week and drive during the rush hour. And I'm curious to see if the traffic's been reduced in Miami like it has in LA. But California is where, there's deportations going on everywhere. But California is where the major focus is in. And California is going to end up becoming a red state with these deportations. You understand that, right? I believe Kamala Harris she's announced she's not running for governor of California. It's because of the deportation. She doesn't think she can win. I'm telling you. And the Democrats have been trying to turn Texas blue for decades. They're working hard on it now. And if we lose Texas, we're in trouble. But we very well are going to gain California as a red state. Remember, there's more Republicans in California than in Florida. Now, I know the population's bigger. But with the mass deportations that are going on, and a lot of people are self-deporting because mom or dad or grandma and grandpa get deported, the rest of the family follow. That's how my family ended up in Florida. My grandparents moved to Florida when they retired, and then over the course of a number of years, everybody else in the family moved to Florida. So when these deportations happen, a lot of the family, they go back to the country of origin to be close to grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, son, daughter. That's the way it works. And it may not happen this next cycle, but I'll tell you this. In the next presidential election, it's possible that California becomes a toss-up state. If not in 2032, by 2036, okay? Well, we got 2028's next. In 2028, California could be a toss-up battleground state or on the verge of becoming one. And by 2032, with the way things are going, right? California could become a toss-up state in 2032 in the presidential election. And by 2036, it could become a red state. It is most definitely in play. There are more Republicans in California than people realize. I know a lot of people from California, and a lot of Californian Republicans don't even bother to vote because they figure, what's the point? Things are changing. And also, the Malibu fires are waking up a lot of people too, where they're seeing where the money's going. You see this guy, Spencer Pratt, is bringing a lot of attention to this, and a lot of these lifelong Democrats out there are talking about how the government, took all the money for the relief after the Malibu fires. So that's really an amazing thing, and Trump's doing that. And these stories don't get the coverage that they deserve, but they're certainly true. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of the day, but I want to talk about Dr. Appleton. And it's kind of fitting. It's coincidental because I was talking about the car accidents are down 10% in LA and in New York City. If you've been in a car accident and you have injuries and aches and pains from a car accident, whether you were a passenger or a driver riding in a rideshare, Uber, or Lyft, go see Dr. Appleton. The laser wave pain treatment works on injuries and pains from car accidents too. In fact, I realized when Dr. Appleton told me this, it made perfect sense. I don't know why I'd never thought of it before. Well, he's the doctor, not me, But I just went to Trump University, guys. But I realized that the first pain he relieved me of, and 3 years ago, that has not returned, my knee pain, that was from a car accident. I was a passenger, a friend of mine, shouldn't have been driving, had some drinks, drove over a median, and I tensed up and jammed up my knee, and that's why I had this knee pain all these years, for 30 years, was that car accident. And Dr. Appleton rid me of pain from that in 3 years, and it has not returned. So if you have aches and pains, what happens is in the car accident, you tense up. My friend didn't get hurt because he was, a little tanked. I did. I should have been the one driving. Well, I was young, stupid. I wouldn't do that now. But give Dr. Appleton a call if you've been in a car accident of any kind. And with car accidents, a lot of times you don't even know you're hurt for days or maybe even a week or two later, really. It takes a while sometimes for those pains to set in. And as always, the laser treatment, Dr. Appleton performs all the treatments himself. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are not necessary, even on Saturdays and Fridays too, but on Saturdays as well. 954-973-0710, 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. Yeah, a listener, Annette in New Hampshire, sent me a nice letter, nice personal letter, written in cursive. You Gen Zers probably couldn't even read it. And this super cool t-shirt. This is a really nice t-shirt. I like it. I'll definitely be wearing it. So thank you, Annette in New Hampshire. It's nice. I haven't been to the radio station in 2 weeks, so when I come to the radio station, there's like mail and packages here for me. It's nice. It's like Christmas when I come here, when I haven't been here for a couple weeks. So I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, there's callers on hold. Sure. I'm going to take a call or two when we get back.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like it. Plump, tender, and delicious. Crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Brian Craig here. I've never slept better than I have with my My Pillow 3
3 layers of comfort are first, the supportive patented foam, the comfy transitional foam, and the cool to the touch cover that keeps me from overheating all summer long. There's no wires, no remote, just pure comfort. It straps in place, and the cover is machine washable and dryable. The best part, it's made right here in the USA. It also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Go to mypillow.com right now and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, and save as much as 30% off your MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Start sleeping better every night, just like I do.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It is Thursday already, although for some reason it feels like Friday. So it looks like we're going to get Obama. I'll get to that in a few minutes, but I'll take a couple calls and we'll get into Obama. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jerome. How you doing?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted to call you and talk to you about how last week you said that that they were going to try Obama and everything and all these people, and now you're walking it back not even a week later.
Yeah. Now, first off, that's not what excuse me, I'm not walking any of that back. President Trump, no, there's no also. We're going to talk about the first thing you brought up because it leads into the main topic of today. But Obama has immunity. President Trump said so. That's unfortunate because he's committed some crimes. Although the immunity is somewhat limited. And after the break, I'm going to share with you what I'm talking about that. So while he has immunity, there's a way, there's something that's going to happen that will be, I'm not hanging up, I'm just speaking. Sorry, It's not your show. It's not your. Well, I don't care if you can hear. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the audience. But not only are we going to get Obama under oath, but this is really an amazing thing. But are you okay? Let me before I finish. Hold on a second. I'm going to ask you a question, Jerome. Okay, and I want a serious answer to this question. Okay, because I treat you, even though you're a mental patient, I treat you with a lot of respect. So here's my question to you. Do you want to continue to participate in this show, or do you want your privileges revoked? Or no, hold on. Or do you want your privileges revoked, which I can revoke? You call here, it's a privilege that I allow. And as conservative as I am very liberal with callers. But there are some basic rules, all of which you disobey. And I'm just telling you that if you want to continue to participate in the program, you have to behave in a certain way.
Either. So why are you talking down to...
Okay, there we go. All right. So I think he's, doesn't want to participate. That's okay. The show must go on, and it will go on without Jerome from Lunatic Land. No, we are going to get Obama under oath. I'm going to share it with you after the break. And not only are we going to get him under oath, his immunity is limited. And I'm going to explain all of that to you after the bottom of the hour break. Now, I just want to talk about that caller. See, I realized something a couple of days ago, which I brought up on yesterday's program, but I want to bring it up again because this is very, very important. I've been talking to liberal jerks on the phone forever. And liberals are always unhinged. That's just the way it is. However, they're more unhinged than ever these days. And the general think, if you're on hold, stand by, I'm waiting for the delay to re-engage. The general thinking is, well, they're so unhinged because they're losing. Well, that's part of it. That's a big part of it. But there's a secondary cause. When you're dealing with Gen Z people, and I know this is not, true with all Gen Z. My daughter's Gen Z. You're Gen Z, Mike, right? No, you're millennial? Mike's millennial. Okay. My daughter's Gen Z. When you're dealing with Gen Z, they don't know how to speak to people because they've done everything through DMs and text their whole life. They haven't learned how to have proper phone conversations and phone etiquette. You hear the language. He dropped an F-bomb. I had to dump, And this generation of Gen Z have no people skills. And I don't know how they're going to get through life like this. They just don't know how to have a conversation. You have to take turns, especially when you're on a show like this, because if you're playing two things at the same time, on the air it sounds like mud, and you have to take turns. So I'm trying to be more patient with our Gen Z callers that are new to the program, because they just don't know how to they really don't know how to speak. They have zero social skills because they never socialize. They have zero phone etiquette because they don't talk on the phone. So I'm trying to have some patience with that. It's like I got a package today from a nice listener in New Hampshire. It's a cool Trump t-shirt. And a nice lady, Annette, and she sent me a handwritten letter on lined paper written in cursive. And Gen Z not only can they not write in cursive, because they don't teach that in a lot of schools anymore, they can't read it. It's like Old English to them. They can't even read it. When I was in college, they had entire classes in graduate school on how to read Old English if you were studying history. And I get a lot of, and you can tell with the Gen Z. So I'm being a little patient, but there are a couple of rules when you call the program. No profanity. You've got to take turns speaking, okay? And except on Fridays, you got to talk about what I'm talking about. Now, he was talking about what the lead story is today on Obama. All right, let me take another, and it's one call per day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Oh, is that? I can't tell if you're talking to me or I just was listening.
No, I'm talking to you.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Rob. I'm in South Dakota, and what I'm really concerned about is I'm not sure if you're a Christian or not. I haven't listened to you much, but
here we go.
I am a believer, and I believe that
Here we go.
is at any moment.
Yeah.
Because we're not setting the captives free.
Yeah, I mean, listen, of course I'm Christian, but what you're talking about has nothing to do with reality, and we're not in anything we're talking about today. With you, nothing. I don't want to talk to you about anything. You're crazy. I know you're insane.
Why is that?
Because of what you said. Who are you to know that Jesus is coming soon? You're a crazy person. I have no interest in talking to you. No, I have no interest in talking to you. I'm not interested in talking to you. And I imagine most people feel the same. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour, come back, and I'll get into the Obama stuff, which is pretty good. And if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take some calls a little later. But this Obama stuff is pretty good. And there's been a lot of breaking news involving the coup against President Trump's first term. I'm going to cover all of that in the next segment. I also want to tell you that the original MyPillow that started it all, there's an incredible new special going on at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane. You can get the original MyPillow for less than $20. It's the same pillow that I got over 10 years ago that I paid $65 for. And you see, what Mike Lindell's doing now is he's offering with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, you're getting the wholesale price. These are the price, Walmart kicked out MyPillow, right? These are the prices that Walmart buyers used to pay, right? So you're getting that, and Walmart has that buying power because they buy so in such bulk. You're getting that Walmart wholesale price. That's below regular wholesale. You're getting the Walmart buyer price, with our promo code Kane. Less than $20. It's a good deal. You'll sleep better than you've ever slept for the rest of your life. My original MyPillow, I slept on it. I sleep on it still, and it's over 10 years old, and it looks like new. And I know it looks like new because I can't tell the difference between that one and the other ones that I've bought since. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and order your MyPillow for less than $20. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Isn't that person, that lady's husband with the French name or something like that?
No, they live here. That guy they came to the Berries thing.
Ah, okay. That's
Yeah.
what I said. I know they have that similar
Yeah.
sound thing.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Oh, can you look at that 8:30 break and see if we can move some spots around? Oh. Great. If you want to call Joe Thomas, I'm going to give you his number. It's a no-charge consultation, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999, and online at jupiterjoe.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years on the air.
All right. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Call us on hold, stand by. Okay, so I want to go through this. This is really amazing. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, they're working on a lot more than we realized. I'm going to owe them a big apology soon because things are really happening behind the scenes with the Obama coup. And it's obvious that John Solomon from Just the News, who's on Real America Voice, is, I call him the Woodward and Bernstein of Obamagate, because he is being given all the insider information from the Trump administration on what's happening. And it's been 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, because it was 3 weeks ago tomorrow, because it was Friday and he was at Turning Point in Tampa. So 3 weeks ago tomorrow, John Sullivan said, in about a week, something big's coming, and it's going to involve criminal prosecutions going back about a decade against Trump with the lawfare. And then a week later, Tulsi Gabbard declassified all that information and released it, remember? And he has been the one breaking these stories, and he's being given them by the Trump administration, no doubt about it, all along. So when John Solomon speaks about this, you can take it to the bank. And President Trump is always 10 to 12 moves ahead of everyone. He really is. And Obama does have immunity from actions taken while he was president, even those illegal actions. But that opens himself up to something, and there's a wrinkle. So let me pull this up. This is John Solomon. This is yesterday. John Solomon from Just the News, which is an online news outlet, which you should check out. And he's also on television on Real America's Voice, and I do watch him there. He's very, very good. Listen to this. This is about Obama.
I want to address Obama for a second. I know President Trump has every right to be frustrated with him. I think President Trump's analysis last week was right. I think my immunity rule might protect him on the original charges. That's what most legal experts tell me, that ruling is so sweeping it will protect Obama for what he did in office. However, Barack Obama can now be summoned before a grand jury. He cannot take the Fifth Amendment because he has immunity from prosecution. He'll have to tell the truth. If he lies as a private citizen about what he did as president, he'll no longer have that immunity. And that is a trap that Obama is sitting potentially facing. And I want to say the irony to that, because on January 5th, 2017, he presided over a meeting in the White House where the FBI had just cleared Mike Flynn of any wrongdoing, and they schemed in that meeting how they might be able to jam up Mike Flynn. And they came up with the idea, we'll lure him into an interview, catch him into a lie, and then prosecute him that way. Barack Obama now is about to face a potential similar situation as the one he created unfairly for Mike Flynn.
Okay, now this is interesting. And by the way, that thing with Flynn, I'm thinking more and more Pence was a part of the Obama team and was part of the setup of Flynn. I think they used their agent to get rid of Flynn. Because remember, it was Pence who got the president to fire General Flynn. Okay, so if what John Solomon is saying, and remember, his legal experts are the people that are advising President Trump, right? So we're talking about like Pam Bondi and people inside the Justice Department. Since Obama has immunity, not only can they compel him to these grand juries, it would be multiple grand juries because there's going to be a grand jury for each one of these cases. Clapper, Brennan, Comey, whoever it is. See, the people around Obama are going to get indicted and charged. He can be brought in because he has immunity. He can't turn it down to testify in these grand juries. And he's going to have to testify in multiple grand juries. And if he lies, he's committed perjury. That's the perjury trap that they got Flynn on, and they use these perjury traps all the time. And so we're in a situation where Obama is going to, this is amazing, he is going to have to detail everything that he did, or he will be facing charges because he's a private citizen now. And it's all this lawfare that they did against President Trump the last 4 years, it's really coming back to bite them all because they didn't charge President Trump with crimes he committed as president. They charged him with fake crimes that they made up, but they accused him of doing when he was not president. So they have established that former presidents can be charged, arrested, forced to testify, depositions, grand juries, everything. They established that with their harassment of President Trump. And now all of that is going to be used against them. And I don't think Obama minds that all too much because I don't think Obama cares about any of these people. I think Obama cares about himself. Really, I think he does. I don't think he cares if Brennan and these guys go to jail. I don't think he cares at all. And he is now, and since it's going to be multiple grand juries that he would be testifying in front of, if he does not tell the truth, he's not going to be able to keep up with that. There's too many. He'll be telling it too many times to keep up with it. So we're going to actually get. We're going to get in the court records, and he can also be compelled to testify in their trials. We're going to get Obama's confession. We are going to get Obama's confession, and we're going to get it multiple times, and it's going to be a part of the official court record. President Trump said the other day, when he was coming back from Scotland, somebody said, should he be, and he's like, well, he's got immunity, but something needs to be done to get this out. This is what Trump was talking about. So that is spectacular. I cannot wait for that. And Clapper looks like he's going to be the first one to get in the trouble. We were talking today, he has lawyered up already. He told, was it CNN, MSNBC, one of them he was on, he told them he already lawyered up. And now there's a news story. It's in the Gateway Pundit, and it's also in the New York Post today, about how he threatened a senior intel official who refused to take part in the whole Obama Russiagate Fusion GPS fake dossier story. So Clapper was going around threatening people who didn't get involved and wouldn't back up the lies. So it looks like Obama is going to be called in to testify in a grand jury in this indictment of Clapper. Look, to me, a lot of the stories coming out are Clapper, so I'm assuming he's going to be the first. And then yesterday, Kash Patel dropped something. This was huge. Listen to this. Thousands of secret documents pertaining to the government's investigation into President Trump's Russian collusion hoax were sitting in a secret room at the FBI and were being prepped for destruction. They were in fire bags before FBI Director Kash Patel intervened, according to sources close to the discovery. This is in Trending Politics, and it's also being reported elsewhere. Kash Patel's FBI claims to have discovered burn bags filled with documents laying out the government's finding in Crossfire Hurricane, the controversial probe into whether Trump worked with Russia. The years-old investigation. So this is amazing. So somebody at the FBI was working to destroy the evidence, and Kash Patel caught them. Sources told Fox News Channel that such burn bags are used to destroy documents marked as classified or higher. One of the burn bags, they said, contained the classified annex of Special Counsel John Durham's report, which found no evidence of collusion with Russia from Trump or the Trump campaign. Some of the underlying intelligence uncovered by Durham was inside those bags. This is coming from Kash Patel, signaling that Biden's FBI may have been eager to destroy evidence that exonerated President Trump prior to the start of his second administration. See, this was like the falling of Rome here. They were at least planning and making moves to destroy evidence and documents before the new administration came in, but they didn't get to destroying these for whatever reason. They got them in the burn bags. And I don't know if no one just got around to it or if they were destroying so much other evidence, they just ran out of time. But this is an amazing discovery. Now the classified annex of information is being declassified with the help of the director of the CIA, John Radcliffe, Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi, and the acting National Security Agency director. The team of Trump advisors will send the final redacted annex to the United States Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley for his consideration about whether to release it to the public. According to eyewitnesses who have seen the classified annex, it states that U.S. intelligence service had gained credible information from foreign sources that the FBI would take a lead role in spreading the Trump-Russia collusion hoax before the FBI even launched Crossfire Hurricane. So they had determined what they were going to spread before they conducted the phony investigation. This is really good stuff. Here's a tweet about it. Fox News exclusive. FBI Director Kash Patel has reportedly discovered burn bags filled with sensitive Trump-Russia probe documents in a secret skiff room at FBI HQ, per Fox News Digital. One document includes the classified annex to Durham's final report. Kash Patel says many of these files were never seen or disclosed. So, yeah, things are happening, and this is awesome stuff. It really, truly is. Oh, man, it's coming. It's coming. And it's kind of exciting in a way that Obama has immunity, because now we got a star witness who has no choice but to testify, or he'll be committing new crimes, which will get him all jammed up in a perjury charge case. So this is awesome stuff. In fact, it's going to be, because of the presidential immunity, I tell you, it's amazing. I was upset about this last week, but now I'm feeling kind of good about it. Because of the presidential immunity, it's going to be easier to lock these guys up, like Clapper. Now, I want to talk about the free doorbell camera offer from Slomin's. This makes a great gift. You can get it for yourself, for your family, for your grown children that have moved out of the house, for grandma, grandpa, mom, dad. It's a great gift. And you can give this as a gift to them, the free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone, or theirs if you're giving it as a gift, with the installation of your Slomin Shield. Slomin's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin Shield. Give them a call, toll-free, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. If you're on hold, stand by. We've got more to cover. We will take some calls and be back after this.
Cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Oh, this is great stuff. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe, guys, all right?
Every day about how we can help you and your family. Now here's one of our listeners, Frances, sharing her experience of how Attorney Barry Siegel made a difference in her life and took a weight off her shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure my holdings, which is actually not a whole bunch of bank account savings and a house and a car for my two daughters. I was worried that if I had just a regular will, things would get tied up in probate, and that would take 2 years. So I heard on the radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney. I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we went over everything, and I ended up with this wonderful trust for my two daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my two daughters. I was very pleased with the attorney, Barry Siegel. Finding him helped me assure that my two daughters will be well taken care of in the event that I won't be here.
Give Attorney Barry Siegel a call right now. Toll free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
All righty, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll free, 1-888-465-2631. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Dustin from Louisiana.
All right, Dustin, what's on your mind?
I got three little things to talk about. First off, I want to ask your viewers and you, can you pray for my mom?
Okay, absolutely. Okay. Well, let's hope. What is her? Why is she on life support?
She has trouble.
If your mom's on life support, why are you on the phone talking to me? Why are you not at the hospital with your mom?
On a ride. Well, because I'm waiting on a ride.
Wait on a ride. You've been on hold. You've been on hold for like half an hour.
Well, it's like 4 a.m. Secondly,
you're in Louisiana. It's not 4 a.m. It's not 4 a.m. in Louisiana.
Okay.
It's not. It's 5:49 in Louisiana.
It's 5:49. Okay.
I mean, if my mother was in the hospital, I'm just saying, okay? If my mother was in the hospital if my mother was in the hospital on life support, I wouldn't be sitting on the phone calling a radio show. That's just me. Okay, well, let everybody pray for his mom. Pray for his mom. Yeah, but let's just pray you get a ride too. All right, what's your next thing? Oh.
We'll get a ride. My ride's coming in about 7, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Second thing is
here we go.
About Jesus you were talking.
I wasn't talking about you. All right, I appreciate the call. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What kind of man makes up a story like that? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Georgia.
All right, Georgia. Speak up. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I was just saying, it's just remarkable how you have to jump through so many hoops with your Obama derangement syndrome to actually make this work, when it's obvious that the Epstein file, Trump's thing, plainly said to Virginia by Epstein. Obvious.
What's obvious? You've got a very poor phone connection, so it's hard to understand you. But what is obvious?
It's obvious that you're jumping through hoops to connect.
No, I heard that. Do you have other things? Excuse me. I heard that the first time. Okay. Do you have something other than your prepared statement about jumping through hoops?
He took Virginia from him. He said Epstein took Virginia from the same.
He didn't. Trump didn't say that. Trump didn't say that. No, he did not. No, he did not just say that. He didn't say that. No. No.
Of course you're going to say that.
No, I heard him say it. I heard him say it live. Excuse me. You're on hold. I heard him say it live, and what he said was that Epstein was hiring people away from Mar-a-Lago. And he was hiring young women away, he found out, and that's how he found out what he was all about. They asked him about Virginia. He did not know for certain if she worked for him or was one of them or not. You know, he doesn't concern himself with that level of staffing at Mar-a-Lago. So you're hallucinating.
About Virginia. I'm not.
And he said, and then he said he did not know.
I believe.
No, he did not. He did not say yet. He did not say that. He says, I don't know. He did not. He said, I don't know. All right, appreciate the call. I mean, I can't talk to these liars. I mean, you know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Bob from Utah.
Hey, Bob.
Good morning. What's the status Obama being born and still being in?
No, that's not going anywhere. You know, Hillary Clinton started that. Maybe she still has an investigation. You know, the whole birth certificate thing with Obama was started by Hillary Clinton's 2008 primary presidential campaign when she was running against Senator Obama.
Oh, okay. I just...
Yeah, I know. They like that. You know, this birth certificate thing, they like to lay on us and Trump. Hillary Clinton's campaign started that. They're the ones that started the investigation. They leaked all that to the press. They started the whole dialogue about the birth certificate in Kenya. It came from Hillary Clinton's campaign. In fact, at the time, when it first came out, we had on the show, it was the guy, I don't remember his name, but he was Hillary. This was during the Democrat primary for the 2008 race. So, I mean, this is 17 years ago, so I apologize, I can't remember his name. But the guy that was taking the lead was Hillary Clinton's campaign chairperson from, I believe, Pennsylvania. And I called him up and we had him as a guest on the show. And he didn't know we were Republicans. But when I had him on the show, Steve and I, and we interviewed the guy for like an hour about it and took calls. And he was a chairperson with Hillary Clinton's campaign. Her campaign started, just like they started the rumors about Trump and Russia. That's what Hillary Clinton does. Makes up things and smears people.
I was hoping we could prove he go to jail.
He's not going to jail. You don't want, and first of all, you don't want to put presidents in jail. Because then they'll put our presidents in jail. They were trying to put Trump in jail who committed no crimes.
Well, that's a good point. Well, okay, I'll let you go, kiddo.
All right. Kiddo, he must be really old. If I'm kiddo, he must be like ancient. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff. How you been?
Hey, from January 17th, 2016 on, what President Obama did is up for charges, isn't it? After he was president, or is it still immunity?
No, he put everything in motion when he was president. President Trump says he has immunity. No charges on Obama. He has immunity. President Trump said that.
But he said everybody else is open game.
The people around him do not have immunity. That is correct.
And he named quite a few publicly. And when he came out and called Obama a traitor, I think that shocked a lot of people.
See, this is a good thing. This is a good thing, Jeff. I was talking about this the other day. If you arrested the first black president of the United States, it would be a disaster. Now that he has immunity, we don't have that factor. It takes him off the table. But as John Solomon says, he's going to be compelled to testify in the grand jury in the grand juries for these conspirators that were working for him. And he'll probably be brought into court as a witness in their trials. And he's got to tell the truth. If he doesn't, he will have committed perjury. He's no longer president, and those are felonies. So he's going to have to tell the truth. And he's going to have to testify.
Nope.
Yeah. He doesn't care about these people. You think he cares? Do you think he cares if Peter Strzok goes to jail or Clapper? He doesn't care.
Well, you're talking about Hillary Clinton also, though.
You don't want to put... Yeah, Hillary Clinton's not going to go to jail. We're not going to put the wife of a president in jail. Clapper, Brennan, Strzok, Comey. Yeah, those people, yes. But you don't want to be putting... If we put Hillary in jail, okay, they would find a way to put Melania in jail. Or deport her to Slovenia or something. You don't want to do that.
I do believe that, Brian, because it'll set a precedent to do it to Republicans. So
yeah.
Reasoning behind that is very strong. You know, even though they falsely accused of President Trump of all these crimes and they couldn't get him in prison, and they wanted to so badly. And for him to be doing what he's done in 6 months is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to ever end. I believe that the midterms is going to be the turning point, because that's going to be the dial or the gauge, I would say, for the future, at least the near future, for the mega movement. And do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, there's listen, statistically, we're projected to lose the midterms, but the polls that are out are so different. We may gain, and the midterms are an unknown.
Right. I don't believe in polls anymore because they're so manipulative by the left.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I don't. But by the more we win as a country in America first, I think it's going to bring on more people, and Mega's growing. We're not just maintaining, we're growing in numbers across the board with conservatives, liberals, and independents.
Mm-hmm.
Who we run next, isn't that probably Marco Rubio as good as job as he's doing?
Yeah, that's right. Well, listen, I got to run, Jeff, some good points. If you're on hold, stand by. I talked to Ian yesterday from Cruise and Travel Depot. He's our travel agent that handles all our cruises. And, we do have some, we did yesterday when I talked to him still, but a lot of people have booked this week on our cruise that have never been on any of our cruises before because we have this 2019 pricing. And that is not an exaggeration. We do have a limited number of these cabins left, but and we'll have a good price when they're gone, but not this low. You're actually paying 2019 prices for a 2026 cruise if you call Ian. I'm going to give you his number. Join us on our 10th annual Steve Kane, Brian Craig MAGA Cruise. Yeah, and if you get Ian's voicemail, leave your name and number. He will call you back. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. That's 561-244-5779. You're all invited. We'll see you in March on the cruise. All right, call us on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour and be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel. From the Kalea Pain Relief Weather Center, the only pain relief cream that blocks pain and reduces inflammation within 3 minutes or less. Here's your oldies forecast.
For tonight, clearing skies and a little cooler with an overnight low of 79. For Friday, it'll be sunny and hot, 92 for a high, and just a slight chance of rain.
Weather brought to you by Kalea Pain Relief Cream. Is pain robbing you of your quality of life? If you answered yes, you have to try Kalea Pain Relief. Kalea Pain Relief Cream relieves arthritis, joint, and muscle pain better than anything you've ever tried. Kalea, get back to doing what you love. Now available in your local public supermarket in the pharmacy section. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
We have reports of a pedestrian spot on the turnpike northbound north of Okeechobee Boulevard. Use extra caution in that area. A crash at Congress Avenue south of Lantana Road is in the clearing stages. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250 keyword West Palm Traffic.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is the place to be this week. Poker, table games, super OTB action, and incredible dining at the Paddock. Watch and wager on the top tracks from around the country, including big races from New York, Kentucky, and California. Don't miss Saratoga Racing now through September 1st. The Paddock brings you 140 plus HD TVs, giant screens, mouthwatering food, a full bar, and service that makes you feel like a winner. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more fun.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big lines. That's why I do any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctors' orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. Any lab test now with Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard, on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any lab test now at Coral Springs.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now with Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio. or too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Hour number 2 has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm Brian. Our number toll free, 1-888-465-2631. Okay, I want to play this one clip of this Karen talking about the Sydney Sweeney thing. They're so upset about this. Oh, that's the wrong pot. Okay, here we go. This is this new Karen. She put this video up online, and she's very upset at Sydney Sweeney in this jeans ad.
If anyone from American Eagle who was involved in the creation of Sydney Sweeney's most recent advertisement booked into my Pilates class, I would give them the hardest exercise class that I was capable of doing on the lightest possible spring load with 0 breath cues. And I would make it the toughest exercise class that they'd ever experienced in their lives.
Okay, whatever. Looking at her, she needs to be in a tough exercise class herself. You know, this thing with Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle's stock has gone up almost $500 million since this campaign launched. In the last week, it went up over $400 million, the stock value of the company. And what I've seen with American Eagle Outfitters, I've not shopped there too much. Sometimes when the cruise is coming up, I'll go buy some new shorts there. But most of them are in mall locations. I know there's some that are not, but most of them are in mall locations. And there's so many dead malls in America. Their sales are going through the roof. I was not only did the company's valuation go up over $400 million in the last week, they've been running out of sizes, a lot of sizes, apparently, because people are rushing in to buy the jeans. I'm going to go in and buy some jeans. I'm going to try to go this weekend. I'm really busy because I've lost so much weight thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. None of my jeans, these jeans I'm wearing today are probably almost as old as you are, Mike, and they're falling off my body because I've lost so much weight from Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I need some new jeans. So I might head over to the American Eagle Outfitters at the Boca Town Center. But their sales are through the roof. This is one of the most effective ad campaigns ever. And I know everyone's saying what I've been telling you, that it's the end of woke. It's the beginning of it. You know, after everything that happened with BLM and everything, the advertising on television, online like this, print, movies, television, they just weren't casting whites. They'd made a decision. You watch a commercial on television, you don't see any white people. You watch a movie, you don't see. And I really got fed up with this. A few years ago, I had enough. There was there were two things. One was the Oscars and one was the Emmys. Okay, the Emmys. What is the name of the actor? He's black. He used to be on Law and Order, but he was the guy in Blackish, the father in Blackish, and he was at the Emmys, and I believe it was Jimmy Kimmel that was hosting, and he did this racist rant on Jimmy Kimmel got in trouble because years ago he did a skit in blackface. So we had this guy come out from Blackish and just, don't white explain me, and all this, I couldn't believe. And then there was an Oscar, this was a few years ago, there was an Academy Award show, and they had 3 lady hosts. One of them was Wanda Sykes, who's very, very funny. It was Wanda Sykes, another black actress, I can't remember, and then I cannot remember the name of the white actress they had. She was pretty big at the time. It doesn't matter who they are, but I watch a lot of old movies. My wife and I, we like old movies from like the 30s. I love movies from the 1930s. And you go back and you watch these movies, and Humphrey Bogart gets on a train. The porter comes to help him. He's black, and the way that they portrayed black people in movies in the 30s was pretty bad. I mean, really bad. They do weird things with their hands. They are hunched over. The look on the face and the eyes. You know what I'm talking about? But now, that was almost 100 years ago. We don't want to judge people 100 years ago based on the standards of today, but that's what was going on. And at this Oscar ceremony with the white host and the two black hostesses, it was the year Wanda Sykes was there. I might Google it during the break to give you the names. They had the white actress acting like the black porter in those movies in the 30s, with the eyes and looking stupid, and the black women knew everything, and the white person. And then there's a show that I used to be a fan of that I stopped watching because it got so woke. The Rookie. Anybody watch The Rookie? It's a modern-day ripoff of Adam 12, and I was a big fan of that show. The guy that stars in it, he was in a science fiction show called Firefly years ago. So I always liked Nathan Fillion. And I always liked Nathan Fillion, and the show got woke, and they had a spinoff. And it was, the spinoff was a rookie at the FBI, and they cast a very funny actress who's black. She was on Reno 911, and they did this whole thing of the wise black lady who's a rookie at the FBI, knows more than everybody that's been at the FBI their whole life, and she was the oracle of knowledge, and the show got canceled. But that's what happened in Hollywood. There was another show that I watched because I'm a Star Wars fan, Kenobi, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus. And I was excited about this show when they announced it, and people had wanted it for years, and Ewan McGregor played Obi-Wan, and I was so excited. And then Obi-Wan comes out, and because of this woke stuff going on in Hollywood and Disney, Ewan McGregor was a supporting actor in his own television show. The lead was the villain, who was a black actress who could not act. Go back and look this show up online. She cannot act. But they cast her as the lead, and Ewan McGregor, who's a big movie star, Ewan McGregor, even still, he still has hit shows. He was a supporting actor over this wokeness. And what Sydney Sweeney is doing is putting things back in place. Not racially, like they're trying to. I know they're trying to talk about genes, like we're talking about genetics. She's selling blue jeans. People are being cast based on talent, marketability, and profitability. And other things too. That's how you're supposed to do these things, right? And that has them freaking out. And I got to tell you, I'll tell you this time, I've seen Sydney Sweeney in two things. I saw a couple of clips of her in one of these romantic comedies. She cannot act. And then there's a movie right now that's new on Apple TV. You can look it up, with Julianne Moore. And Sydney Sweeney plays Julianne Moore's daughter. And she's a Hunter Biden type. She's a junkie, and she destroys her parents' lives. And Sydney Sweeney cannot act. She sucks. She is a less than mediocre actress. She's got the acting ability of an extra. She cannot act. And you get to see in that movie, you get to see what Sydney Sweeney really looks like. All this stuff you're seeing in these ads, this is all Photoshop. She looks like not good. Sydney Sweeney, she's famous and marketable because she's got huge boobs. That's it. But she can't act or anything like this. But she's a big draw. And when it comes the way it used to work in Hollywood, and there's a phrase I can't use on the radio, but when they're casting lead actors and actresses in movies, it's who can get more A's in the seats, butts in the seats. They stopped doing that. They don't care anymore if anybody watches it or goes to the movies. They're casting based on checklists, not whether they can act or whether they make the film profitable. And Sydney Sweeney here, she's the beginning of the end of woke in the entertainment world. And these people are having freakouts and meltdowns, and they just can't see it. They just can't. They thought this was going to be the new way. And it's just not. And it's not about skin color, and it's certainly not about genetics. It's about hiring the people that are right for the job. I mean, look at these new things they have with the Oscars where you have all these check boxes you get to for a movie to qualify for a nomination now. You have to have so many trans, so many gay. But you're making a Western that takes place in 1878. There were no transgender, but you got to have a transgendered person in it, or there's no Oscar nominations, even for sound and lighting. No Oscar nominations unless you check off all these things. That's insanity. All right, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We're going to take our first break of the second hour. I want to tell you guys about Friendly Tire in Margate, where you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. And I talked to Mike on Monday because I wanted to make sure. I said, is that 70? He's like, yeah. And I said, you know, that's $75 a tire, which out the door and on the road means, you know, he doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. So the price he gives you over the phone is out the door and on the road. And I said, is $75, is that the lowest price on new tires? So he's like, yeah. And I said, well, what kind of car? Is that for like some little tiny car, you know, like a Fiat or something? And no, I'm not going to list the cars because he did give me a few cars, and I don't want somebody to think, well, my car's not that. It very well may be. It is, you can get new tires out the door and on the road from Friendly Tire in Margate for as low as $75 on sizes that fit the most popular cars on the road today. All right, so give him a call. He has thousands of good used tires in stock as well, and he does tire repairs too. Give him a call. His number is 954-977-9445, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. We'll be right back.
On the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scotto.
Of the inside and outside of your home, and make sure it is time and date stamped so if you get hit, you can have picture proof of the damage for your insurance company. This is very important. Call us to get on our priority list so if you get hit, we are prepared to get to your home and make it watertight. It is your responsibility to protect your home. It is our responsibility to help you do that. We purchase watertight supplies prior to each new season, so get on our list. Put your insurance company and ours on your speed dial, and if you get hit, immediately call
to see if there's anything we can move around because it's a little cluster.
Okay.
So call me at 954-604-4602 or reach us at LaPuertoRico.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Set sail with Margaritaville at sea and get into an island state of mind. Right now, enjoy 50% off fares, third and fourth guests sail free, and for a limited time, snag a $1 stateroom upgrade. Whether you're chasing bucket list destinations or just escaping to the open sea, Margaritaville at sea is the best way to sail in the Caribbean. Book it today at margaritavilleatsea.com. Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
If you're on hold, hang in there, guys.
Just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be kept for it. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth. A lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend it. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and the world at True Oldies.
All right. We are back 20 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Let's take a call or two, then I got a lot more to cover. We've just scratched the surface. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara, and thank you so much for a great show. I can personally tell you I love the way that you're handling these disrespectful, ignorant liberals, and I'm sure the rest of your audience appreciates it too. I called to talk about Obama, but since you've gone into Sydney, I've got to comment on it because I know she's not a good actress, but she's one of these people that's got a butt you can bounce a quarter off of. See, a few of us have that blessing, and she's got one, and along with the boobs. But she's attractive, and that woman that you showed, the liberal, I don't know why she would even put her face on anything next to Sydney or anyone else. She looks like one of the chipmunks for just the looks. All these, I noticed that there are very few liberal women who have any kind of good looks about them that are critical of conservative women at all. Most of the liberal, they don't even look like something, most of them, that anybody would want. I think that's why so many of them have all these trans
Yeah.
going on, because nobody wants them. They look so unattractive. And I want you to know, American Eagle right now is selling for $11.33. So I just put in my queue, got to get some, and I'm definitely going to go get a couple of pairs of them to put on this size 10 booty. I love what they're doing. It's time for them to go, time for the woke generation to go. Now, as for Obama, I know everybody's saying Obama's not going to be arrested. I don't agree with that. I do believe, now, as far as jail time, that I don't think he will serve. However, President Trump had 4 indictments, 4 arrests. We will see Barack Obama do a perp walk, and we will get a mugshot of Barack Obama because history demands it.
It's not going to happen. I mean, I know that I could light up. I'll tell you, Barbara. No one. Listen. No one wants to be in the history books arresting the first black president of the United States, right next to the segregationist.
Excuse me? What does all it got to do with treason?
Nothing. It should not have anything to do. It has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with public perception. It shouldn't, but it would. And no one is going to want to arrest the first black president. You would be forever in the history books with Lester Maddox and all these really low-life people. You'd be like you.
Well, I disagree. As a black person, I think our history books are ready for the truth, and it's about time that it is reported. And he has committed treason. There is no statute of limitations. Treason. And that's sedition, conspiracy, and treason are real. President Trump was arrested and indicted on trumped-up BS charges. And I'm staking all of my American Eagle earnings.
Well, listen, I don't disagree with you. Everything you said's true. I'm just telling you, it's not going to happen because of that. And Trump says he has immunity. President Trump says he has immunity.
He does have immunity from official acts. Yes, he does. But there is no immunity from treason. There is no statute of limitations on treason. President Barack Obama committed treason on this country.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's just the way it is. Now, whether or not we want to face that is another thing, but it is a historic event to have a president to do what Barack Obama has done, as if he was in Kenya in 1990. This is what it didn't get as bloody, but if we had cities burning,
yeah. And the Democrats the Democrats would have blue city race riots going on like crazy if he were arrested or charged.
No, I think all of this, as far as the violence, I see what they're doing now with ICE and the violence going to start happening. All this rioting and all this other crap, this is going to come to an end when the people that are funding it are going to be arrested. Pam Bondi and Cash Patel, Dan Bongino have been doing things the right way. And I'm telling you, when that dragnet comes down, it's going to be widespread. And people can be shocked. And the first black president, well, because he's black, he could commit crimes. That's just like saying because they're black, they can go into these stores.
Yeah, I understand. I agree with that, but I got to live in. Hey, I appreciate the call, though. I agree with everything you said. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay, I doubt it. All right, let's see. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. I can't understand a word you're saying. All right, maybe you can try back on another line. So I was telling you guys, I plan on going to buy some jeans this weekend. I'm tired of pulling up my jeans. This belt, I mean, if I put another hole in this belt's going to start going around my body again. So and I'll probably go to American Eagle Outfitter. I don't know what size pants I even wear because I haven't bought any pants since I lost all this weight. I have no idea what size pants I wear. I got an idea because I weigh what I weighed when I got married, and I know what size I wore then. So maybe I'm back down to that size. I don't know. But Coastal Weight Loss Secret's absolutely amazing. I've lost all this weight. I didn't starve myself. It was so easy and effortless, and it's been months. I mean, really, it's been a long time because I started this goodness, January, and then by March, it was the end of January. Yeah, it was the last couple days of January I started it because I started it the Monday after the inauguration. So basically, I started basically February, which is the shortest month of the year. And by our cruise in March, I lost the 25 pounds I was looking to lose. And then after the cruise, I lost even more. And now that I'm in the maintaining phase, it's so easy. I haven't gained a single ounce back. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to gain back a little bit. I haven't gained any weight back. And the reason I haven't is because I didn't have any major lifestyle changes to lose all this weight. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call. I know I lost about a pound a day. Now, I would have lost more if I would have exercised, but about a pound a day was enough for me. Eating foods I would normally eat, no medication, and no exercise, I'll take about a pound a day weight loss. Fine with me. But because I did it that way, the maintaining phase is easy because I didn't have big lifestyle changes. When you make big lifestyle changes, when you get to the maintaining phase, that's when it gets hard. Not with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Here's the number. And remember, no matter where you're located in the United States, they can help you with your weight loss, no matter how much you want to lose, too. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
The True Oldies channel.
From the Galea Pain Relief Weather Center. The only pain relief cream that blocks pain and reduces inflammation within 3 minutes or less. Here's your oldies forecast.
Partly cloudy tonight, clearing skies and a little cooler with an overnight low of 79. For Friday, it'll be sunny and hot, 92 for a high, and just a slight chance of rain.
Weather brought to you by Kalea Pain Relief Cream. Is pain robbing you of your quality of life? If you answered yes, you have to try Kalea Pain Relief. Kalea Pain Relief Cream relieves arthritis, joint, and muscle pain better than anything you've ever tried. Kalea, get back to doing what you love. Now available in your local public supermarket in the pharmacy section. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
On the turnpike southbound at Indian Town Road, watch for a stalled vehicle. On Forest Hill Boulevard, there's construction at Haverhill Road. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword westbound traffic. I'm Ron Wilson.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. It's a sizzling summer in the Booker Room at PBKC. High hands are hitting every 15 minutes, every day from 9 a.m. to midnight. Score big with a $15,000 cash giveaway. And don't miss the $100,000 Progressive Weekends. Take your shot in thrilling August tournaments. Chase the Bad Beat jackpot and enjoy Vegas style games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Free Card Poker.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
It's non-stop action at PBKC. Get all the details and fun at pbkennelclub.com.
This is Dr. Philip Appleton. I'm a chiropractic physician. I've seen thousands and thousands of patients in my career. I've been a chiropractic physician here in Pompano Beach for 40 years. We're open 6 days a week. If you have sciatica, you have bursitis, you have tendonitis, you're tired of taking the pills, the drugs, the injections, and you heard that you have to live with it, well, there's a lot of times you don't have to live with it. I've had great, great, great success with helping people. My testimonials are marvelous with patients. They love the treatment. There's no injections. There's no medication. There's no surgery. There's none of that. It's strictly either the laser, the acupuncture I do, or shockwave therapy I do. Open 6 days a week. Come in for the free consultation and be willing to look at you and help you.
Take advantage of that no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Brian Craig here. I've never slept better than I have with my MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. It's a game changer. It's 3 layers of comfort. Our first, the supportive patented foam, the comfy transitional foam, and the cool to the touch cover. It keeps me from overheating all summer long. There's no wires, no remote, just pure comfort. It straps in place, and the cover is machine washable and dryable. And the best part, it's made right here in the USA. It also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Go to mypillow.com right now and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, and save as much as 30% off your MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. And start sleeping better every night, just like I do.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years on the air.
All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Lose my number, okay? Or get a better phone. Is he calling in on one of those Obama phones? All right. I wanted to share this with you. Now, I was talking about the deportations earlier. And what they're doing, you know, I was talking in the first hour, and I want to share this story with you in a moment. Kamala Harris has announced she's not running for governor. The reason she's not running are the deportations. The demographics of California are changing. Between the deportations and what the government has done in Malibu, they're in big trouble out there, the Democrats. It's becoming a red state. And by the time we get to the 2028 election, we may be getting to the part as early as 2028's presidential election where California is starting to become a battleground state. We're not there yet, but it's getting close. There's a lot of people waking up. There's already a lot of Republicans there, and they're purging California of illegals, and that's why Kamala's not running. She doesn't think she'd be able to win it. And by 2032 or 36, California, by 2036 could be a solid red state. I would not be surprised by that at all. It's really pretty amazing when you think about what's going on in the. Let me get through this stuff before I take more calls. So what they're trying to do is what Democrats always try to do: spread propaganda and such. This is a local story out of Texas. Okay, and it's a woman. Her husband is an illegal, and they interview her, and they like to find women that are pretty and have kids and everything else to do their marketing. Listen to this, and then we'll talk about it. Let me cue it up. Here we go.
Just stay down, or I have to get up and I have to show my babies. You fight for what's right. You fight for the people that you love.
Zakia Navas is forced to fight because her husband is currently in ICE custody.
My husband is in Lubbock right now because of the big hailstorms. He has a roofing business, and so he's there to do roofing jobs.
Okay, now, you get Lubbock. Isn't that where Buddy Holly's from, Lubbock, Texas? Her husband is in ICE custody. He's an illegal. She says he owns a roofing business. My goodness. So, I mean, and I'll play more of it. Do any of you have any sympathy for her or her husband? I have zero. Why isn't he, this is part of the problem we have in this country. We have illegals. This guy owns now I don't know what that means. He could just be a guy in a truck and he picks up some workers at Home Depot when he gets a job, or he could have a major company. I don't know. Maybe they'll tell us later in the story. I'm going to play the rest of it. I don't remember. I listened to this like at 3 in the morning. I have zero sympathy for this woman or the family. The guy's here illegally. He has a company. He's taking business away from American companies or companies and workers that are legal immigrants, that are here, that may not be a citizen but are here legally. I have no sympathy for this at all.
That you love.
Zakia Navas is forced to fight because her husband is currently in ICE custody.
My husband is in Lubbock right now because of the big hailstorms. He has a roofing business, and so he's there to do roofing jobs. And he was pulled over immediately by the sheriff for supposedly a traffic stop. Immediately once he was pulled over, an unmarked car showed up with ICE agents that got out, removing him and the other gentleman.
He was
okay. So her husband not only is in the country illegally, he's employing people illegally, and he's been doing this for a couple of decades. I have less than zero sympathy, and this is so interesting. What happened? Now this is in Texas, which is a red state. However, if this were 8 months ago, the local police would not have called ICE. They have ICE on speed dial to come to these stops when they pick up an illegal because with the last administration, ICE wouldn't do anything. They weren't allowed, even in a red state. And he has 3 children and his wife, so I'm assuming the children are legal. She speaks English pretty well with an American accent. She may be a U.S. citizen. I don't know. But there's a good chance that that whole family is going to self-deport with the husband to whatever his country of origin is. Is she going to stay away from her husband and keep her children away from their dad? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Pulled over immediately by the sheriff for supposedly a traffic stop. Immediately once he was pulled over, an unmarked car showed up with ICE agents that got out, removing him and the other gentleman.
He was turned over to ICE for not having a license. Eventually, he was transferred to a detention center in Eden near San Angelo.
He says it's completely packed full of so many people, obviously, that they're just shoving in there. And it's a complete chaos.
What was your main message to your husband when you talked to him that you wanted him to know?
I'm fighting for him. I'm going to get you out. I'm doing everything in my power.
If somebody's watching today and says, well, he was in the country for 22 years. Why did he wait so long to get a citizenship? What would you say?
I pushed for it years ago when she was born, almost 7 years ago. And he's like, but I don't want it to look like that's why I'm married to you. And, maybe even a part of his pride, too, was what stood in the way, but never because he didn't want it to look like, he's using his country for that.
Oh my goodness. He loved it. What she's telling us is out of his own pride, He didn't apply to get legal status or citizenship, and she said she tried to get him to do it when they had the first child born because he had the anchor baby thing going for him then, and he didn't do it. Now, I know it seems harsh when I say I have no sympathy, but, you know, people that work in any type of trade, okay, wages for trade workers of all kinds is down so much. And it's down because of people like her husband over here illegal, hiring the illegals, bringing the wages down, not just in roofing like this in Texas, but, you know, any type of construction project. So no, I have no sympathy, and you can't let this propaganda get at you. It's not going to tug at anyone's heartstrings, you know. Now, Laura Loomer, this is really amazing what Loomer's doing. She has, by the way, if you would like to call in, the number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And I got to tell you, savor every moment of every day that Trump is president again. We are never, ever, ever going to have a president like this again. There'll be other, you know, there'll be other MAGA, JD, you know, whoever it is, you know, but they'll never be like him. We're never going to have another president like this. Never. And you really want to enjoy every second. I hope these years go by so terminally slow because I don't want it to ever be over. You know, I mean, this is why we elected him, to do what he's doing. And I know it seems cruel to people, but, you know, remember Michael said, if you don't have borders, you don't have a country. Borders, you know, that's it. You know, that's it. So Marco Rubio talking online this morning when I was doing my show prep, and he was talking, he said this 51st state with Canada is a real deal, that Trudeau told Trump, he was there in the room, Trudeau, who's now, you know, sleeping with Katy Perry, it looks like, they went out to dinner, and then he was at her concert glowing. I've never seen her in person, but I've seen some clips of her concerts. She's less talented than Sydney Sweeney. Have you seen any of these clips of her online? But anyway, Marco Rubio said, Trudeau said that they don't have a functioning economy in Canada without the United States trade imbalance. And then that's where this came up, and Trump said, well, if you can't have a functioning country without ripping us off, you should become a state. And Marco Rubio says this is a real thing that they're talking about. Now, Laura Loomer has really taken on an incredible role here. She is vetting people that are working for the federal government, for the president. Have you seen this? And there's been a few people she's gotten rid of. There's a new one. Listen to this. The Secretary of the Army has now taken over control of the civilian hires at West Point. Okay? Secretary of the Army, Daniel Driscoll, has taken control of the hiring processes at West Point and ordered the firing of Jen Easterly, who's a recent hire for a professorship at West Point. She was the head of cybersecurity and the Infrastructure Security Agency, okay? And this woman that was hired to be a professor, let me pull this down, and this is what Laura Loomer found out and put out there and resulted in her being terminated. And she was, not only was she just hired, the general that's the commandant of West Point was just praising her on social media about what a great hire she was. They might have to get rid of that guy too. And because of Laura Loomer, the Army Secretary fired her. And what Laura Loomer found out, let me pull this up. I want to get the name right. Because she is the woman that was just fired right after she was hired at West Point to be a professor, was the one that hired that Biden disinformation czar that was going to monitor conservative media and social media. Remember that? The Minister of Information that Biden hired? Well, this is the woman that did the actual hiring. And she just got hired. It wasn't, you know, the swamp is pretty deep. And you have somebody like this, a different disinformation czar hirer, as a professor at West Point. What is she teaching the cadets? I don't even want to know. But I do know this. I also don't want to know what it's like to suffer from neuropathy. The pain of neuropathy is just god-awful. It's just awful. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling. and the hands and feet, the dizziness, the falling down all the time. It's terrible. And Lighthouse Medical in Pompano, they have a treatment for neuropathy that works and a treatment that lasts. Steve had his neuropathy treatment 3 years ago this month. And after those treatments, his neuropathy symptoms have not returned 3 years later. It works. Give Lighthouse Medical a call. And when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Then you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
Truth. Delivered morning.
Shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure my holdings, which is actually not a whole bunch of bank accounts, savings, and a house and a car for my two daughters. I was worried that if I had just a regular will, things would get tied up and probate, and that would take 2 years. So I heard on the radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney. I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we went over everything, and I ended up with this wonderful trust for my two daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my two daughters. I was very pleased with the attorney Barry Siegel. Finding him helps me assure that my two daughters will be well taken care of in the event that I won't be here.
Give attorney Barry Siegel a call right now. Toll free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right. We are back. I'm Brian, the Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hunter Biden actually opened up a club.
You know, I didn't hear about that, but I'm curious about you. You know, you've called in the last half an hour or so 7 times. Why do you keep calling me so much? 7 times. I just looked. Yeah, 7 times. In the last 20, 30 minutes. Why'd you call so much? But why? But 7 times. Why don't you just call and hold? Why do you keep calling, hanging up, and calling back 7 times? This is the 7th call you've made in the last 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I just looked. Yeah. You called it. You called at 7:45, 7:34, 7:27, 7:21. You called at 6:58, 6:28. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, 6 times. You called 6 times during the show today. I'm just a little interested in that.
Have you no answer though?
I didn't. What was your question?
I asked you, did you hear about the club? The $1,000 per member.
No.
That's what Donald Trump Jr. is.
What's wrong with having a club? That people pay to join?
That you're getting rich off of because of your father's access as the president. If Hunter Biden was doing that, you would have a whole.
If Hunter Biden was opening up a club that cost, what did you say, $500,000 to join? I would think it was a sex and drug club. But yeah.
That's exactly what.
So what? That's how much it costs to join country clubs. I'm not in that elite group, but so what?
Really?
It's
so corrupt.
What's corrupt about that? Wait a minute. No. What kind of club is it?
It's a regular club in Washington, D.C.
Do you know, I don't know about that. I'll look it up. But rich people, have you ever been to, listen, you're obviously interested in what I have, excuse me, I'm speaking. Have you ever been to a club? Maybe I'm going to hang up on you, okay? And then you can call back 6 more times, but I won't take the only reason I took your call is I saw you called so many times. I thought you must have something important to say. All right, appreciate the call. I don't mind liberal jerks calling. That's cool. But you just can't go on constant, the jerk and the club and just ignore when I'm talking. But 6 times, not 7. That's a lot of times. Not as many as who the other day, but who holds the record this week of over 250 calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pamela.
Hey, Ben. Not much. How you doing?
Yeah, it's so funny that the people who hate your show the most fervently call in the most. Didn't Renee call in, like, you said 250 times?
Over 250 times.
Yeah, dude, the people who hate your show love it more than the people.
They're the biggest fans. The haters are the biggest fans.
So I'm so glad that you talked about that woman and her illegal criminal husband in the term, couched it in the language that you did, because it's so important that we normalize the number one tactic of the left is in really much like in such an evil way is to manipulate and weaponize the sympathy and compassion of people in order to ram through their evil agenda. And so for too long, the reason people hate Trump is he's upsetting the status quo. And what people who hate Trump don't realize is the status quo has been messed up for a long time. For too long, we have been okay with people staying here for 22 years. 22 years, this guy stayed, didn't do anything, drag his wife and baby onto the camera and have her cry, well up, so we all feel bad. But guess what? Feeling bad for someone is not a good domestic policy. Well,
first of all, the guy's a rotten dad. Maybe he might like getting deported because now he has the financial pressure of the wife and the kids off his back. If this guy was the responsible father of the year that he's being portrayed in the news as, he would have gotten his legal status corrected so he didn't get taken away with his kids and his wife behind.
Oh, yeah, we all know what happened. Don't believe the sob story because they don't have control anymore, and so they're going to do whatever it takes in order to maintain their interests. But these people don't come to our country with the number one focus on improving this country. They come to this country to help themselves. And sometimes a byproduct of that might be they contribute, but a lot of times they'll do whatever they need or want in order to service themselves. I don't know how many times. I hate when people break into this country and tell us how important they are to this country.
Yeah.
How how many times this guy's been to the ER. I don't know if he's on welfare. I don't know if he's not paying his guys. He's paying his guys under the table so they don't pay taxes. We don't know how much of this guy is being a detriment to society. He could be doing well for society, but the fact is we don't know because we weren't allowed to have a say on if he could come or not. So if his wife feels so bad for him, she can go back to wherever he came.
You know, it's like our cruise in March. I'm renewing my passport. I mean, we're just going to these beautiful islands for a few hours on shore excursions, but I can't get on the ship unless I have my documents up to date. My the passports are good for 10 years, and this is our 10th anniversary cruise, so it's expiring. You know, why do I need to get my documents to go hang out in Antigua for a few hours, but these people can set up businesses and lives with nothing?
If you went to Antigua and then you stayed 20 years past your visa expiration date.
And set up a life.
You know, right. And then like the guy in Maine, there was like a guy from, he was like a police officer in a small town in Maine, and he was from like Senegal or something.
Yeah.
He just got found out that he's been here illegally, you know.
Well, and think about it. I was talking about that a couple days ago. He went out of state to make a gun purchase, and they did it might not have been out of state, but he went to make a gun purchase on a private weapon. They did the federal background check and found out he was illegal, but that police department in Maine gave him a gun and a badge to an illegal, and they knew he was illegal. Come on.
Yeah, Maine has some crazy Democrats up there, but no, you know, I think it's so important. You and Jesse Kelly, you do a great job of adopting the language we need to normalize in order to shift the Overton window. And too often, people are calling them on the...
And if you notice, they're finding women. Like I was talking about a story the other day. There was a woman caught shoplifting, and she's in the back of the police car. It was here in Florida, not this part of another part of Florida. And she told the arresting officer, "You can't, you know." He said, "You're going to get deported." She says, "I have kids here." It was in Spanish. It was just, "I have kids here. You can't deport me." Well, she apparently thinks Kamala won the election. She's getting deported. But they put this in the news, and they put it in a way, they had this photograph that was of her from above in the back, and it was like a glamour shot. She looks really good looking and good, but when I watched the film of the arrest, she doesn't look anything like that. You know, they're finding good-looking women that are married to illegals or are illegals to be the face of it. They think that'll get it. You know, I guess because the Sydney Sweeney campaign is so successful, they think big boobs and sex sells so well. They're trying to sell their liberal crap with models now. It's not going to work.
Like beautiful women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's such a cheap trick, and I really think it's important. We need to they're not migrants. They're not undocumented. They're illegals. And it doesn't matter if they committed a heinous crime or not.
And I'll tell you this, that, you know, most all of the illegals are Catholic. I'm Catholic, and communion is very important. They all are documented, but they all bring with them, for the most part, their proof of baptism so they can receive Holy Communion at Mass. It's a big deal with Catholics, especially the Hispanics. So, and I promise you, most of them have that with them. I know it seems bizarre to a lot of people that aren't Catholic. It's a big deal. All right, listen, I gotta run. Thanks for the call. I want to talk about Joe Thomas. I think Joe's coming in studio later today. You know, there's so many different types of ways to invest your money. I know that. 401ks, you got a brokerage account, IRAs, whatever you got. But unlike annuities, do any of them guarantee you income for the rest of your life? No, they don't. Do any of them guarantee you're not going to lose money on your investment? No, they don't. Only annuities do that. You want to call Joe Thomas. And, you know, when you have an annuity, there's no risk from stock market losses. You're guaranteed income for the rest of your life, and you can also leave the annuity to your heirs. That's right. And they can have a revenue stream too, and that annuity, which is a great benefit. Call Joe Thomas. He's offering free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located in the United States. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to JupiterJoe.com. JupiterJoe.com, you'll find it right there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Howdy, my name is Michael. I'm calling from Boise.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, another winner.
Shut up.
Yeah, yes. Go ahead. We got about 30 seconds.
Last 15 minutes, I want to talk about Epstein.
No, you don't. Now, if you were listening for the last 15 minutes, why would you be calling about that? See, this is the seminar callers. They call in and mention Epstein like that means something. It seems to me that you liberals are the ones that are obsessed with Epstein.
Can I finish my question?
No, since you asked. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. He asked. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
From the Kalea Pain Relief Weather Center, the only pain relief cream that blocks pain and reduces inflammation within 3 minutes or less. Here's your oldies forecast.
Partly cloudy skies in the forecast today and hot with a high of 93. 50% chance of rain. For tonight, clearing skies and a little cooler with an overnight low of 79. For Friday, it'll be sunny and hot, 92 for a high, and just a slight chance of rain.
Weather brought to you by Kalea Pain Relief Cream. Is pain robbing you of your quality of life? If you answered yes, you have to try Kalea Pain Relief. Kalea Pain Relief Cream relieves arthritis, joint, and muscle pain better than anything you've ever tried. Kalea, get back to doing what you love. Now available in your local public supermarket in the pharmacy section. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
I-95 southbound at Okeechobee Boulevard. Watch for an accident. Military Trail. There's construction at 10th Avenue North. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250 keyword westbound traffic on runners.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is the place to be this week. Poker, table games, super OTB action, and incredible dining at the Paddock. Watch and wager on the top tracks from around the country, including big races from New York, Kentucky, and California. Don't miss Saratoga Racing now through September 1st. The Paddock brings you 140 plus HD TVs, giant screens, mouthwatering food, a full bar, and service that makes you feel like a winner. Go to pbkennelclub.com for more fun.
Brian Craig here. I've never slept better than I have with my MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. It's a game changer. Its 3 layers of comfort are first, the supportive patented foam, the comfy transitional foam, and the cool to the touch cover that keeps me from overheating all summer long. There's no wires, no remote, just pure comfort. It straps in place, and the cover is machine washable and dryable. And the best part, it's made right here in the USA. It also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Go to mypillow.com right now and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout and save as much as 30% on your MyPillow 3-inch mattress. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. And start sleeping better every night, just like I do.
Set sail with Margaritaville at sea and get into an island state of mind. Right now, enjoy 50% off fares, 3rd and 4th guests sail free, and for a limited time, snag a $1 stateroom upgrade. Whether you're chasing bucket list destinations or just escaping to the open sea, Margaritaville at sea is the best way to sail into paradise. Book it today at margaritavillatSea.com.
When you need lamp
this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. It's coming up on 5 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Joe. I'm from Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calling to ask about that. What do you think about helping me lead a January?
Oh, please. Yeah, that's exactly. What what do you think I am, stupid? Oh, my goodness. I tell you. You know, Mike, this is the price of success. We got this is what Rush used to talk about with the seminar callers. I love it. This is awesome. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
John, Philadelphia.
All right, Philadelphia. What's on your mind?
Question.
Oh, here we go.
About the $954 million that Trump took from the silo program for his gold plan.
Okay, Trump took $950 from what?
$954 million.
Yeah.
From the Air Force silo program for our nuclear weapons, took it and put it towards making his plane from Qatar gold.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, this is interesting stuff here. I mean, I learn a lot from you people that call this program from the left, from the alternate universe, okay? I want to go backwards with what you said. Now, I haven't heard about this plane in a while. I kind of forgot about it. Qatar gave President Trump, gave the United States Air Force a new... No, it's the property of the United States Air Force, okay? It's not his private plane. So this is what I'm interested in. Trump is having the plane remade out of gold?
All right, man.
No, you said the plane's being made out of gold? Is that, what do you, at the current, let me tell you something, at the current price of gold over $3,300 an ounce, he hung up. Okay, he hung up. I did not hang up on that lunatic. First off, $950 million, I think it would be more than that if you made an airplane out of gold. But you cannot make an airplane out of gold for the simple reason gold is too heavy. Gold's heavy. You ever held gold? Now, I know you can hold. I'm going to ask William at the new prices today. I might, if I remember, I'll ask him how much money in gold you can comfortably hold in your hand, and it's probably over $100,000. I don't know what the new price is. Who knows? But you can't make an airplane out of gold. It won't fly. It won't fly. It's too heavy. Okay? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And the new Air Force One is being painted in red, white, and blue. Okay. So where he got that talking point is from this. President Trump, did you see Bobby Kennedy yesterday? I'm not going to play it because I love Bobby Kennedy, but he sounds like Katharine Hepburn. I can't, listening to him talk for a long period of time, it's tough. Yesterday, Bobby Kennedy, this is where these talking points of stupidity come from. Bobby Kennedy was talking yesterday, sitting next to President Trump in the Oval Office, and he said, I've been coming here for 60 years. And he was talking about how drab and everything it looked when his uncle was president and how majestic it is today. And he said that his uncle believed, and his aunt, Jackie Kennedy, believed that government offices, government facilities should be luxurious for respect and to make people feel good. And he went into that yesterday. President Trump has used a lot of gold paint in the White House. Have any of you been to the White House? Have you been to the White House, Mike? Okay. Now, I've not been to the new Trump White House, but I have been to the White House. And when I went to the White House, I was in shock at how cheap everything looked. And when I went there, I've studied all this stuff. I know that place like the back of my hand. The furniture, the paintings on the wall, the different rooms, And I was with somebody else who's as knowledgeable as I am about such things, and I couldn't believe how cheap everything looked. The first place that I noticed it, that hallway when the presidents come down to speak in the East Room of the White House and they come down the red carpet, you see down that hallway? That's in the front of the White House. And you see the chairs that are gold. Have you ever seen those? There's behind them. It's on the wall. It's on the screen left. You see there's all these gold chairs. It's paint that is so cheap. They're wooden chairs, and the paint is of the quality that you would get if you bought paint for a plastic modeling kit at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. You know what I'm talking about? Those little model paints that you used to get when you were a kid? And the whole White House is like that. It is really cheap-looking furniture, and it's almost like a movie set, okay? And when you see it on television, it looks great, but when you see it in person, it's put together, splashed on. I was in the dining room at the White. I know it sounds like I'm really connected, doesn't it? I'm not, but I'm not. I'm just telling you. I was in the dining room, and I was very excited to go into the dining room because there's two portraits there that I wanted to see. One of them is the official portrait of President Lincoln, and the other one is the official portrait of Teddy Roosevelt. And I wanted to see those. They're really, I couldn't believe the quality in the dining room. First off, it's almost the size of the room I'm standing in now. It's very tiny. The furniture was falling apart and cheap. I saw stains on the carpet. I'm not kidding. Okay? You go to Mar-a-Lago, and you go inside Mar-a-Lago. On television, Mar-a-Lago doesn't look that great on the inside. You go inside Mar-a-Lago, it is the most beautiful, majestic palace I have ever been inside of. It looks like the gold and everything, the paint and everything that Trump uses in Mar-a-Lago. The way I describe it to people, if Louis XVI lived today, he would live at Mar-a-Lago. The way so if you go to the White House prior to Trump, it's an embarrassment. It was an embarrassment. And when you bring people to the White House, Trump, he's bringing these very wealthy people from around the world to bring their companies here. He's bringing these world leaders here. Some of them live in literal palaces. And the ones that are uber rich, they live in palaces, right? Because they're super rich. They're like billionaires. They come to the White House, and the furniture is cheap garbage. The decorations are cheap garbage. And the paintings on the wall, cheap. And so what he's doing is he's been remodeling the White House so that it garners the respect it deserves from the dignitaries that are there. So that guy there with the gold Air Force One, which is stupid, that talking point comes from the gold that Trump is painting everything. I was watching, I can't remember who it was. It was Right Side Broadcasting, I think it was, or it might have been Real America's Voice, one or the other. And they showed something that no one else has shown. The Oval Office ceiling that Trump had redone. And I saw it in the Oval. I saw it before and I saw it after. You look up at the ceiling in the Oval Office, it's like the Sistine Chapel of beauty. Okay, it's like the Sistine Chapel. I'm talking about on the level of beauty up above. And Trump had all this done with special painting and decorative things done up there. And this guy with the gold Air Force One took the gold paint in the Oval Office and at the White House, and somehow he turned this into the plane being made out of gold, which it wouldn't fly. it wouldn't get off the ground because it's too heavy. And it's also at over $3,300 an ounce would be a lot of money too. But it's really, you want the White House to be, you hear Trump talk about a lot about these leaders say our country was dead, now it's alive. And if you didn't catch it yesterday, I'm not going to play it because it went on for a long time. And Bobby, I love Bobby Kennedy, but his voice is difficult on top of it. But when you heard Bobby Kennedy talk about, he's probably visited the Oval Office with different presidents more than anyone else alive. He's been going there since his dad in 1960. He's been going there, right? So, or I'm sorry, his uncle with his dad, right? When he described the beauty of the Oval Office yesterday, it would bring tears to your eyes. And that's a good thing. You want people to go there to see a palace that they respect, not some dump that has cheap paint thrown on cheap wooden furniture. Like, I was in shock when I went there. I'd like to go there now and get another tour. But and anyone who's been to the White House in the past, I think you would agree with me on that. All right, I got so much to cover. Let's take our break real quick. And I do want to let everybody know that if you go to MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, you can get the MyPillow that started it all, that I sleep on every night, for less than $20. It's less than $20 right now with our promo code Kane at checkout. This is the one I bought over 10 years ago for $65. Now you're getting the less than wholesale price. You're getting the Walmart buyer price on this, and this will not last long. That's why I'm telling you about it so much now. The MyPillow that started it all, less than $20 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at MyPillow.com. We'll be right back.
Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott on the radio reminding you that your favorite...
I looked up the membership of Don Jr.'s. I'm going to go over that when we get back.
This statewide pre-tariff Kia sale will be held at one location only. City Kia of Greater Orlando, right off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Breaking news, City Kia today. This is Raul Gomila. There are growing concerns about the new tariffs and what that means to your daily life. Potentially raising your new car payment by $50, $100, or even higher. City Kia, a top volume dealer in the USA, has taken action. We have secured over 800 new Kias on the ground and on the way at pre-tariff pricing. Now is the time to act. Interest rates as low as 0%. Rebate discounts up to $17,000 on select model. Tariff impacts are expected within 90 days. If you are planning on a vehicle purchase in 2, 5, or 8 months, the time to act is now. This statewide pre-tariff Kia sale will be held at one location only. City Kia of Greater Orlando, right off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. See dealer for details. Visit us at citykia.com.
Sharing her experience of how attorney Barry Siegel made a difference in her life and took a weight off her shoulders.
I was really looking for something to help me secure my holdings, which is actually not a whole bunch of bank accounts, savings, and a house and a car for my two daughters. I was worried that if I had just a regular will, things would get tied up and probate, and that would take 2 years. So I heard on the radio about Barry Siegel, the attorney. I gave them a call, and immediately they were so kind. They were so nice. They assured me that they could help. I went over there, and they sat with me, and we went over everything. And I ended up with this wonderful trust for my two daughters. So if something does happen to me, things just turn over to them, and it'll make it so much easier for them. And it took a great load off of my mind as to how I would take care of my two daughters. I was very pleased with the attorney Barry Siegel. Finding him helped me assure that my two daughters will be well taken care of in the event that I won't be here.
Give attorney Barry Siegel a call right now. Toll free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did. went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
All righty, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. Okay, I pulled up, that guy that called 6 times? He has called 7 now. He did call back after that time. So I guess he didn't want to make a liar out of me or somebody that can't count. I looked up that story about Don Jr.'s club. This is CNBC, liberals, and it's April 28th. Don Jr. co-founds, now I do remember this now that I see the story. I just hadn't thought about it because it's outside of my budget, I'll tell you. Donald Trump Jr. co-founds new private members club, executive branch, with a $500,000 fee. And there's already a waiting list, and this is back in April. The club, called Executive Branch, held a launch party that included at least half a dozen members of the Trump administration, as well as wealthy CEOs, tech founders, policy experts, according to people familiar with the club. Executive Branch was founded by Don Jr., along with Omid Malik and Christopher Buskirk of 1789 Capital. Okay, so what? I mean, it's a club. Do you know, this is true, I couldn't believe this. I saw a story about this, I looked it up. Do you know you can buy, there are condos you can buy here in Palm Beach County for $10,000? Did you know this? Did you know this? You can get a condo. I'm talking about nice condos. In Delray and places here in Palm Beach, $10,000. You can get a nice condo. There's a catch. You got to buy the golf club membership. Right? That's why they're selling for so cheap. Because people don't want to buy the golf club. And the golf club memberships can be $50K. Now, $50K is not $500,000, but $50K to me would probably be like more, more than $500,000 to Don Jr. But people join clubs all the time. I don't understand. But the reason I bring this up, though, I want to highlight something. That caller that called all those times, who's African American. Do you know that Trump, his international golf resort, where they tried to kill him down the street from here, do you know he was the first Palm Beach golf club owner, Donald Trump, to allow blacks to become members? Did you know that? You probably don't, because they don't tell you about that stuff. There used to be, I remember we used to talk about it a lot on the radio here in Palm Beach in South Florida. People would call all the time. All these clubs, they wouldn't take blacks or Jews. Can you imagine? And there was one club that, I think it was it President Trump where Clarence Thomas came with Colin Powell? But President Trump's golf club was the first club in Palm Beach, the first golf club, to allow blacks to become members. So I appreciate that idiot calling me from the alt universe of liberal land talking about memberships, because it reminded me of what President Trump did. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mark from Randolph. How you doing today, Brian?
All right, Mark. What's on your mind?
Hey, I got a quick question. Why is it that when someone misspeaks on your show, you have to needle it? You knew what that guy was talking about with the plane. You knew he didn't mean that they were going to make the whole thing out of plane. You knew that. You're smart. I mean, unless you really didn't know, and maybe that just proves that you're ignorant. But you knew what he was trying to say. But you're needling it because that's how conservatives operate.
Okay. Are you done asking the question over and over again and ready for the response?
Yes.
Okay. The guy who hung up, by the way, I didn't hang up on him. He said that the plane was made of gold. He's an idiot. He actually thought Trump got the plane for the Air Force from Qatar and was remaking it in gold. All the stuff about the paint in the Oval Office, he didn't know that. That was the root of where the nonsense came from, but he actually thought the plane was being made out of gold, if you go back and listen to the call.
I did, and that's why I started calling, because he said he's trying to make the plane gold. That obviously, there's different...
No, but the context he said is he didn't mean paint it. He said Donald Trump took $950 million, which is almost $1 billion, right? Took $950 million from some missile silo program with the Air Force and was spending it on the Qatar Air Force One to remake it in gold. He thought they were making the aircraft out of gold itself. He wasn't talking about a paint job for almost $1 billion. Do you want to? Well, wait a minute. Do you want to apologize for accusing me of something? I mean, you were accusing me of terrible things.
I don't just something terrible. You have done it in the past. When you just needle it. If someone says the wrong name, you act like you don't know who that person is. Someone said Chelsea Gabbard.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure out who that would be.
So not only are you not going to apologize, you hang on. It sounds like all my words. I mean, you're quoting me from things you listen all the time. That's nice. I appreciate you listening.
I will apologize. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Context.
Yes. And then he realized how, when I started asking him about it, he realized how stupid it sounded. That's why he hung up.
I'm sorry that he hung up on you and he didn't apologize. I also apologize. I'm sorry. I'm not too big to admit when I'm wrong.
I will accept your apologies. You have anything else on your mind?
No, I'm not going to say anything mean. I'm a liberal.
Oh, what? Let me ask you. How old are you?
39.
Why is a man who's 39 years old a liberal in America today? What makes you liberal and not a conservative?
And
are you straight? Are you straight?
Yeah, of course.
What do you mean, of course? You're a liberal. What do you mean, of course? You're a liberal. Okay, so what makes you liberal? Why are you not a conservative? A grown man who's married to a woman in 2025. What?
Conservative. During Obama's years, I was a conservative when I was in the military.
Yeah, I didn't ask about that. I'm talking about now. Why are you liberal now?
I feel like the conservative party is more cultist these days.
Give me a very specific example of why you're a liberal today. A very specific example, policy, something.
I mean, it's just how I want to raise my kid. I don't want them to be like, what typecast? Like, you're a conservative. You'll say it. If you're not MAGA, if you don't support them, you're not a conservative.
Wait a minute. You want to raise your kids? You want to raise your kids to support abortion, high taxes, more government, open borders? That's why you want to raise your children?
No, of course not. But also taking away rights from people is kind of crazy.
What right is Donald Trump taking away from people?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, you're like the guy with the gold plane. No. You said taking rights away from people. What did that mean? Give me an example of the rights that Republicans are taking away from people. That makes you a liberal today.
Pardon me. I didn't.
Well, you said it. So give a specific policy that makes you a liberal today, as opposed to being a conservative. Something specific.
To choose,
So you want to really? So Republicans aren't taking away a woman's right to have an abortion. They're still legal.
No, I know, and I live in New York, and we're very liberal here, and I get that.
Are you really liberal? Are you really liberal? Or are you just pulling my leg?
No, I really am, but
you can't articulate why. You can't articulate why.
One of these far left liberals that are going to scream in your.
Okay, give me. So you support abortion. So you're against abortion.
I'm pro-choice. I'm more pro-life.
Pro-choice.
Bumper sticker once that said, "Choose life." Your mother did.
So you say you're a liberal, but you can't articulate why. Think about that. So do you support high? You don't like Trump? Why don't you like Trump?
Because of everything, the way he talks, the way he mocks people.
Give me an example of something that he's done that he said, or that is so outrageous. You're a liberal because of it.
he lies a lot. I mean, he's been caught in a lot of lies.
Like what?
I mean, you're in hurricane. You just got out of hurricane season there. He doctored the NOAA map, said he did it, and then it was on camera.
It is still hurricane season. So hurricane season's not over. There's something off with you. You've called in years past, haven't you?
I've been listening for about 6 months.
6 months? Oh, you saw. Okay. All right. I think it's interesting that you can't articulate. Like as an example, the big beautiful bill that just passed. President Trump just made those Trump tax cuts permanent. You're going to benefit from that. You're 39. You're married. You have a kid, at least one. So you're getting all these. You're getting all these Trump tax cuts from the big beautiful bill. They're permanent. He increased the deduction on your kid. You're a truck driver. He's enforced that you got to speak English to drive trucks now. I don't understand. He's doing all these things for you.
No, I do like those things. Don't get me wrong.
But you. What do you mean his demeanor? Tell me what that means. Give me an example of his demeanor. Something about a NOAA map and a Sharpie? Come on.
Sharpie Gate is. Come on.
Now, I have no idea what Sharpie Gate is. No, I don't. I have no idea what Sharpie Gate is.
Okay. I
listen. I'm late for the break, so I'm going to end your suffering. Okay. I'd love to talk to you, but we're 3 minutes late for the break. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott on the radio, reminding you that your favorite oldies are back on the air right after 10 a.m. this morning on the.
Sorry, man, I almost walked in on you.
No, that's fine. You can come in.
Good. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
It's up to you, but I was wondering if you'd want to talk about some of the other stuff you do, because I remember I was telling you I didn't realize you did other things when I was on your show, but I didn't know if that's anything you wanted to get into or not. It's up to you.
I wasn't prepared today, but I mean,
It's up to you.
I was going to talk about a new bonus.
Oh, there's
So,
a
you
new
know,
bonus?
yeah,
Okay.
we have the 10%
Let's get into that.
bonus.
Okay.
Now the same company's got a 16%.
Oh, tell me on the air. Tell me on the air.
So we'll talk about that. By the way, good stuff today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize the White House was that bad, painting-wise and stuff.
Oh man, it's really bad.
Really?
It's like really cheap. It's the way I describe it, like a TV set. It doesn't have to look good in person. It has to look good on TV. You know.
Interesting. I didn't know that because you always hear about them changing the drapes. You know that old changing.
Oh, it's
the
all
drapes.
we
Really?
Well, I'm sure now they've
I've
been
never
upgrading
been,
it.
so, yeah, I've never been, so I don't know. Meanwhile, I used to live in North Carolina for a while, and we used to drive through it all the time, going up to New Jersey, New York, whatever. You know. How you been? Everything
Good.
All right.
So maybe next time we can talk about some of the other things.
Yeah, I mean,
if you don't want to, that's
no,
fine.
I absolutely do. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's there's a lot of things we can talk about.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll figure it out.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what we do today. I'm going to play it on my podcast this week.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, this is exciting because now we have a 10% bonus. We'll talk about, but 10%.
Yeah, tell me on the air so you're not repeating it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I think it's something that people will be interested in. You know, people like bonuses, and I do as well.
Well, it's free money.
Guaranteed.
The way I think about it is, how long do I have to? How long will it take for me to make that money? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you know, the market's doing well right now, but.
Oh, it is.
But 16%. That's how long is it going to take you to make 16% on your investment?
If you want to be in the market with an annuity, you can.
And a sure thing too.
Absolutely. No, we can put you in the market. That's what this one does. It's a growth annuity, and with an upfront bonus. So it's
that's insane. Yeah, that's great.
So if you want to take advantage of the market, and I think it's going to continue. I don't think there's going to be any problems. Full steam ahead with Trump and everything going on. So, you know, I think it's going to do amazing.
We got about another minute.
No problem. I didn't know you had that many followers, man. That's good. A lot of people.
Online?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
That's real good.
Oh, yeah. I know, it's crazy. It sometimes blows me away sometimes. You know, it's scary. It can get scary.
Yeah. There's some crazy stuff happening out there, too, right now.
Mm-hmm.
When did you go to the White House? How long ago was that?
Oh, when Obama was president.
Oh, really?
I got to see him. I saw him when I got there with my daughter. I saw him through the window.
Oh.
And he was rehearsing a speech, and he had these two guys sitting there, and he was doing all this stuff. And I was like, look, there's,
Wow, interesting.
It's been a long time, but Obama was president.
Yeah.
My daughter was a little girl, so I wanted
What was
to take
that,
her to see it.
2008 or something? 2000.
It was the same weekend that Michael Jackson died, because I remember being there and when Michael Jackson died. So that'd be like 09 or 10 or something, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back. Call us on hold standby. Joe Thomas is in studio. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Now, we talk a lot about this one annuity that you have that has a bonus where you make money before you leave the office, but you got another annuity that has another bonus. You were telling me during the break. This is amazing.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it. So we have the 10% bonus, which is used for income. Now we have a new one with a 16% bonus up front. And what it does is it builds your account for growth. So we got one for income for 10% and 16% for growth, which means that if you want to take advantage of what's going on in the market, you can. You get a 16% upfront bonus. So if you give us $100,000, you start day one with $116,000.
Oh my goodness!
And then you can put it in the market in an indexed annuity, which will grow more. If the market keeps going up, your money goes up.
Well, wait a minute. The bonus you put into an index annuity.
And,
so you have
and
so it's two annuities.
It's one annuity altogether.
Okay.
Yeah. But that 116,000 is growing in an index like the S&P 500. So if the S&P 500 goes up, your money keeps going up.
See, what I was telling you during the break, when I think, to me, because I'm not, you're the financial guy, and it gets complex for laymen like me. So, I think about things in very plain ways. When I think about a bonus, first thing I think, well, that's free money.
Yeah.
Right? It literally, it's free
It is.
money.
Yeah.
It's your money.
Yeah. So we call it velvet handcuffs. They tie your money up for a while. So with these annuities, you got to tie your money up. Well, you tie it up anyway if it's an IRA 401k.
You give me 16%. So, and the other way I look at it is, okay, I got the one with 10, and now this one with 16% bonus. How long would it take me to make 16% on that money in a guaranteed way?
Well, what I tell people, let's say you're earning 5% a year right now in a money market or a CD. You're getting 16%. That's 3 years up front of your interest that you have on a CD. So it's pretty significant.
So someone comes to your office, they make 16% before they get back in the car.
Exactly. I had a gentleman yesterday, he's selling a condo. He lucked out. He's selling a condo. It got bought out in Palm Beach, and he's making $750,000. I showed him his bonus is $120,000.
That's crazy.
And that's your death benefit too, day one. So his wife will get $870,000 instead of $700,000.
Well, wait. I never mentioned this. What's the death benefit, and how does that work?
So death benefit means that you get the bonus too. You not only get what you put in, but the death benefit is what the bonus is as well.
Wow.
Day one. Now you say, how can these insurance companies do it? Well, they're insuring risks. That's what they do.
So it's basically, I mean, this may not be the way you're supposed to say it, but it's a life insurance policy too.
It is. It's we call it the death benefit, but it's also kind of a life policy.
Yeah.
These annuities do a lot. I had a gentleman in the office yesterday, and he was converting. He wants to convert to a Roth, and I said, "Hey, we can do this. We can do this." He says, "How come my Fidelity broker never told me?" I said, "He doesn't know, and also he's 30 years of age, right? I'm in my 60s. This is what I do for a living. This is all I do for a living."
Yeah.
And we're going to do a show on some of the other products and services that we do with our firm.
Yeah, next time you come in, we're going to talk about this, because I was on your radio show just recently, and you started telling me some of the other things you do, and I had no idea. I thought you just did annuities.
No.
And that's really just the beginning of what you do.
We specialize in it, and that's one of the products that we love doing because people aren't aware of it. But we do the life insurance, we do the long-term care, and we have all these different intricate parts of retirement that we can talk to people about.
When you mentioned life, I have a lot of life insurance. In fact, I have so much life insurance that my wife would probably get questioned, okay, if something happened to me. But I was talking to my wife yesterday. We were talking about one of our policies and making sure my daughter was on it. And we were talking, and I don't know. You could take your life insurance and put that into an annuity, like when you get the benefit.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could take the cash value out if you wanted to.
Yes, right.
And you could roll it. You could actually do a 1035 exchange.
Yeah.
So you can go from life to annuity if you really wanted to.
Well, the reason I was thinking about that because I've got multiple life insurance, and maybe it's not a good idea. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it off the air. Yeah. But one of my life insurance policies, because I'm getting older, the monthly premium's getting high.
So you can sell it.
Well, I was wondering. That's what I was thinking.
We do life settlements as well. It's another thing that we do for clients. So if you don't need the life insurance anymore and the premium went out of whack, now you can sell it, okay? And they might get, like you see all the time, Coventry on TV. We do the same thing. We have 100 institutional buyers. Sometimes the insurance company that sold you the policy will also buy it back from you. People just don't know. The thing we do, Brian, is bring to attention the things that other people don't know.
Well, with everything I've heard you talk to me about, one of the things you do, people have more money than they realize. They have more opportunities to make money and invest money than they realize too, it seems a lot, right?
That's true.
You know?
And you got to look at everything as a whole. You know, gold, whatever you have, you got to add it up and say, hey, this is what I've got. How do I utilize it? How do I turn it into income? Or how do I prevent taxes on it?
Now, let's finish up with where we began. So, so there's the new, I don't know, it's new to me because you're telling me about this annuity with the 16% bonus. So when people call up, the no charge consultation, by the way, with Joe Thomas, no matter where you're located, and he's going to put together a custom proposal for you. Tell people again, just to sum up, this 16% bonus, what is this annuity? Who's it for? And when they call you, what should they say to make sure that's the one they get?
50 and I'd say 80 can do this product. And minimum is only $5,000 bucks. Okay, minimum is $5,000. There are people out there who won't even talk to you unless you have 500,000. We're setting up accounts with $5,000. You get a 16% bonus up front, and we can tie your money into the market.
What you said, 5,000?
5,000 minimum.
That's great.
Yeah, most people want 500,000, 250,000 for some of the brokers.
See, that's what I see. Before I met you, I'd heard of annuities, and I really thought they were for high net worth people because I'd heard 250, and I had 500. I've heard those numbers before, and I didn't realize that middle class people, that annuities was an option for them.
No, there's a lot of people buying them that are in our bracket. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. I mean, obviously you can get the big ones, but a lot. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, and with someone that has a smaller amount of money gets an annuity, the revenue they get is obviously less than somebody that's got the $500,000. But that smaller amount is what they need.
It's all relative, man. I say just start something, get it going, and if you like it, you add more money to it.
Well, listen, call Joe Thomas. Here's the number. And again, take advantage of the no-charge consultation, and Joe Thomas is going to put together a custom proposal just for you. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right, Joe, take care, and we'll talk next time. All right, there's 2 openings on the board, and let me see. I'll try to take who's been on hold the longest. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, yes, I know, yes. Yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm. You're a liberal man in America, and you're going to tell me why. Okay, let me hear it. Empathetic is a vague generality. Give me a very specific thing. That I'm a liberal because of this, not this empathetic nonsense. Be specific. Nah, give me. I know feelings. I know feelings. Yeah. I got a feeling too. I ate something that gave me indigestion. I mean, come on, no. Give me a specific, like a policy, an idea. What reproductive service can a woman not get in America today because Donald Trump is the president and we're run by Republicans? Well, he didn't add Supreme Court justices. He appointed Supreme Court justices. So you're saying that women don't have choice. How how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? You're 39. Are you just like the last guy? Are you single or are you married? Are you married? Okay. You talk about reproductive freedom. Women in America today have more reproductive freedom than men have ever had. Would you agree with that? Really? Okay. Okay, really? Okay. Oh no. Okay, no. I am short on time, and I don't have time for your ram. No, women have more reproductive freedom than men have ever had. Before you were married, no, you're talking over me. I'm trying to complete a thought. It doesn't matter. I'm not some guy in your living room. When I say women have more reproductive freedom than men, do you agree with that or not? It is my question. It's my question. I said that women have more reproductive freedom than men. You said they don't. Right? Women have all the rights and all the freedoms. Before you were married, I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. Before you were married, I'm not going to let you. I'm short on time. I'm late for a break. I am going to let you talk, but I'm going to control the discussion on the program. I'm not going to let some rank amateur call in, some liberal man take over hosting duties. Before you were married, and you were out looking. Are you still with me? He hung up. Yeah. Beta male, soy boy. Who do you think runs? Who do you think wears the pants in that marriage? Not him. What I was going to say to him was simply this, and that is, women have all the reproductive freedom. A guy like that, before he was married, if he went out to a club, who decided if he was going to have some reproductive action that night? Him as a man or the woman? The women got all the choices and all the power. And you know what? It's the same way when you're married, too. Women always decide when men can have some reproductive time, if you get my drift on that, okay? We have a full board of calls. We'll take our last break and be back.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, you going to have to get Youngerman? Yeah, can you call him? You got to I know, you got to clear out a line. It's up to you. Dealer's choice.
Come in for an evaluation. Let me look at you. Let me evaluate you, and then we can go from there. Auto accident, Uber, and Lyft accident, we do take care of. And also slip and falls. So if you have any issues, give me a call or come into my office. There's always no cost for the consultation.
Call Dr. Appleton and take advantage of that no-charge consultation right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. And say bye-bye to your pain.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals looking down nicely from yesterday's big drop after the Fed announced that they had no intentions of lowering the interest rates, and the battle continues between President Trump and the Fed chairman, and we'll see how that ends. But with that news, the markets continued to fall, and gold dropped $51 yesterday, giving us a great buying opportunity, which we've been waiting for. $32.74.30 on the close yesterday, after trading in a range of $32.67 to $3,335. Silver was down $1.05, closing out the day at $37.06. Platinum lost $82 at $1,312, and palladium was down $36 at $1,219. So a lot of activity yesterday with people taking advantage of the dip. Gold up this morning, up $34 right now at 33.0830. Silver down another 46 cents at $36.60. Platinum down $10 at $1,302, and palladium down $11 at $1,208. So great buying opportunity. We've been kind of waiting for.
Absolutely.
We broke through the support level yesterday of 3,300 for gold, but that did not last very long. As we can see, it's back up over 30.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
These numbers sounds like great buying opportunity.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it. And remember also that we offer all of our Steve Kane listeners free appraisals. So if you have collectibles or anything you want to bring in for an appraisal and find out what it's worth, and maybe cash on the spot if you decide to sell it, certainly take advantage.
And that's anything that's made of the metals. I was wondering, at these prices, over $3,300 an ounce, what would your guess be? How much value in gold could you hold in your hand today comfortably, like in one hand, at these prices?
100 ounces, which is about 7 pounds of gold, you could hold in one hand. Maybe not comfortably, but that's $330,000.
Oh my goodness, that's it wasn't that long ago. It was like 100 and something thousand. You were telling me now it's like over 300,000, and that's when I see these swings of 50 something bucks, that's not at these numbers. That's really a small number. It is. It's good. Listen, give William Youngerman a call. This is awesome. The metals are on sale today. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, or stop into his shop at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway. And you can find both William Youngerman's phone number and address online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, we have a full board of calls. Well, actually, there's one line where William Youngerman was at, so those of you on hold, try to get to your points quick, because I'd like to get through as many of these as I can before the end of the show. All right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, IB.
Yes, IB.
The main topic, Barack Obama, would be the main one for today. Okay, so I remember when you couldn't say anything about Barack. Somebody might just want to punch you, right?
Yeah.
That attitude. I remember playing with my golf buddies. I couldn't say anything about Trump. They always get up.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear what Trump said? Did you see what Trump did?
Yeah.
But that is all vanity. These people into their vanity and their feelings, not looking at the prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be laughed at under Biden, and now they're banging.
That's right. That's right, IB. I agree with that. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Noah from Jersey again.
It's one call per day, Noah. One call per day.
Up on me?
No, the line went dead. I didn't touch the phone. Are you the guy that was telling me that about the women's reproductive? I forgot which one you are. Okay. One call per day, but since you're new, I'll put you back on.
It's the spirit.
But you got to be quick because I got a lot of other callers.
I can respect that. So, like I was saying before, I feel that not just feel. I see that reproductive rights for women have been.
What kind of accent do you have?
An accent?
Yeah.
Jersey, if anything.
Does this sound like a Jersey accent, Mike? What's your opinion on President Trump's border policy?
Oh, so we're just not going to talk about the abortion thing anymore.
No.
Just wanted to make sure.
No. I already won that argument. What's your position on Trump's border policy?
Anything but talk over me, but okay. Is that how you win arguments?
Yeah, that's how. All right, I'm going to move on now. I mean, it's one call per day because of this. You hung up the first time, you claimed victimhood, and then, You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Renee from Harlem.
Oh, hey, Renee.
Yeah, hi. Lion Brian, the bigot midget.
Listen, I want us to clear things up and let your audience know I did not call your mangy butt 200 times, whatever time that was. You're not worth it. Let's make that clear. And the other thing is, I know you would love to have gotten President Obama in trouble, and he's laughing in your face.
And it wasn't 200 times. It was over 250 times.
Whatever it was, it did not happen. Don't flatter yourself.
Well, I don't think you personally did it. I think you probably had some type of app or something that, I mean, I don't know who could dial that fast.
I really don't know, and I'm not interested.
All right. I'll let the court of public opinion decide.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure it makes you feel good.
No, it doesn't. I'm not happy about it. No.
Oh, well, that's your problem. Because what really is thrilling to me is the fact that you really, really hate Obama so much that you want to see him in handcuffs, and the only person that's getting a perp walk is your boy.
Okay. All right. Take care. What do you guys think? Does he sound like did he make you believe him? No, it's true. It's over 250 times. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, is this me?
Yes.
Oh, nice, dude. Hey, Brian. It's Matt from Denver, Colorado.
Hey, Matt. All right.
I thought I'd just ask you. I'm kind of a...
Here we go. Yes.
Really like...
Here we go. Yes. But...
You know, I work in a really liberal place, and every day I go into work, and it's just chambers. This is my opinion. Yes, I'm right. And then this is my opinion. Yes, I'm right. It's like you aren't getting anywhere. Do you have any recommendations? There's two things, you know?
Yeah.
It's like religion and politics. Keep that out of the workplace, man. We're creeping into religion on top of the politics. The politics, fine. Okay, I'll let it go. But now we're starting to get into this religious stuff. I don't know how to deal with it. I just have to keep my head down. I don't know if you have any recommendations. Like I said,
What do you mean recommendations? Recommendations to what? What kind of recommendation are you seeking?
With it. Should I be the bravest guy, you know, and stand up and say what I...
At work? Now, what do you do for a living?
I'm in broadcast.
Give me a break. What are you standing behind me? Well, come on. You're in master control. What are you the master of controlling? What type of broadcast?
Operation and television.
You work at a television station in Colorado? What kind of television station in Colorado?
So we actually, believe it or not, just recently brought in Newsmax, and that's...
Oh, so you work at a cable company.
And we originate signals.
Okay.
Sure
No, I believe you. That's too bizarre of a thing to make up. So I believe you. Yeah, I mean, I just, in a job like that, you don't talk about the politics at work. Nobody should be talking about it. It's not relevant.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do? Would you stand up and say something? Or
no, why? Well, no, you shouldn't stand up and say anything. Why? No, you're not in a job where you're supposed to be involving politics in anything.
Yeah, well, everyone else seems...
How do your coworkers feel about Newsmax?
Oh, you can only imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. It's the worst thing ever to them. It's like, guys, you've never been in that. It's like, I was a producer for a while, and so I kind of know politics and news and breaking news and all of that, and they just think it's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, guys, it's just the nature of it.
All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. I would keep my mouth shut, okay, because they'll get you fired. Now, I want to tell you guys about coastal weight loss. Speaking of Newsmax, the last time I was on Newsmax, I got a lot of compliments from listeners from my last Newsmax appearance about how much weight I've lost. You could really see it the last time, couldn't you? Yeah. If you ever see me shave, that usually means I'm going to be on TV. If you ever see me clean shaven. And I got a lot of compliments from people in this audience about my weight loss. thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret from the last time that I was on Newsmax. You know, the Coastal Weight Loss Secret, no matter where you are in the United States, they can help you lose weight. Look at the miraculous job they did with me. And again, no exercise, no prescription medications. I wasn't hungry all the time, and I ate foods I would normally eat. I lost about a pound a day. I've been in the maintain phase for a couple of months now. I haven't gained a single ounce back because I didn't have any major lifestyle changes. The only thing I'm changing is I'm going to buy some new jeans this weekend because all my jeans are falling off my body and I need new pants. I'm in the maintain phase. Give them a call. And when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossSecret.com. All right, we're out of time for today. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6. And if you're on hold, you'll be first in line. And tomorrow's Friday. That means open phones. Open MAGA Mike Friday is tomorrow. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. And tomorrow we begin the 49th year of the Steve Kane Show. Pretty exciting. See you then. Take care. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I got to clear out of the studio and make room. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? Take care. Thanks for watching.